Hey guys, I'm going to make a quick video about how to make video clips uh, be displayed in your game in Unity 2017. In the past, we would have used something like a MovieTexture, but now it's a lot more simplified, and the two main things that we're going to use in this video is the video clip, which is actually the video that you want to be playing, and then the object that's going to be playing it is the video player. Lastly, we're going to talk a little bit about the camera and how you can have video be rendered on settings with your camera, and it's going to be quick and simple. Great. So we have a scene that's basically the Google VR cube room prefab, and let's just say that we have a camera here and I want to display a video that I created on the wall over here. How might we do that? So we're going to go to create, and we're going to create just a flat surface, and we're going to use the 3D object quad. From there, you can see this quad appear in the scene, and this is how we see it in view of the camera. And I'm just going to move this so that we back it up just a tad and raise it so that it's in clear view of the camera at the moment. I've imported two videos, and one is one without audio and one that has video. When you drag it into Unity, you'll see that it'll appear in the inspector, and we want to make sure that we're using video clip now, whereas MovieTexture is apparently deprecated. And we can decide to import audio if we want to. This one doesn't have any audio, so I'm just going to tell it to ignore that. And then maybe in the past, I think previous versions we had to flip some axes, but I think for this version we don't have to. So just make sure that it's a video clip. This one has audio, so I'm going to have audio or import audio selected. From there, we go to quad, and there's two easy ways to get this video clip onto this object. We can go and hit add component and type out video player, and that'll add the video player component onto this object, and then we can simply drag in the video clip in the video clip field. If we didn't want to do that, I'm just going to remove this just for demonstration's sake. I can drag the video onto the object, and you can see that video player automatically gets added, and the video clip is added in the appropriate spot. From there, we can look at the video player and see that we're using the video clip rather than URL. We can feed it a URL of a video if we wanted to, and it would pull in that video. From there, we can tell the clip to play on awake so that when we hit start, it's going to start playing that video. We can decide to loop or change the speed if we wanted to. And then the next important thing is the render mode. Render mode lets us decide how we want the video clip to be displayed, because this could be sitting on a separate game object without a renderer or a place to actually display the video. And so in this current setting, the video override, we're basically saying that this video player sits on an object that also has a renderer, some type of renderer, and in this case it's a mesh renderer, and so it's going to override what gets rendered on this renderer, and it's going to be the video. Okay, and so we can change where we want it to, so this could be a separate object, it could be displayed on the icosahedron over here, but in this case I just wanted to be displayed on the local quad. And so we want to make sure that we display it on the main text, or the main texture was what which is short for, otherwise you won't see the video be displayed or rendered on that material. I'm just going to reposition it so it's close to the wall. I know that my video is a 16:9 aspect ratio, and so I'm just going to scale my quad to something that I think is close to the natural dimensions, or the ratio. Great. With a play on wake selected, I should see this video be displayed on the material of this quad, because I have the video selected here, play on awake, and I have material override selected with the renderer being shown on the quad, which is this happens to be the object itself. The first few frames of this video are black, so once it starts playing, you'll see that it goes black, and then we should be able to see and hear audio. Computer is taking its time. Try one more time. So the screen is black, and then you hear some audio.
Hello, I am Christian Heidi, and I am a student at the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, and I am here to tell you about the MAGD program. So let's go.
Okay, great. So that was a quick and easy way to get this video playing. Let's look at one other way to have this be displayed, and instead of using the material override, let's say that we want to pick one of these camera far and near planes. If you've never dealt with your camera near or far planes before, we'll quickly look at it. We'll look at the camera that we have right here, and there's two clipping planes that exist, right? And if I adjust what we're looking at here, you'll see that there's a rectangle in this part, and this is the near plane, and this one that's further out here, that's part of the frustum, is the far plane. And so that what that tells the camera to do is that any object that's within here, with not counting any of the types of parameters, is going to tell the camera to render what materials are within these two boundaries. And so we can adjust these near and far planes if we wanted to. You can notice that this near plane changes its size based on the distance as well as the field of view. And so we can narrow this aspect if we wanted to or not. And so if I make my far plane a lot closer, then you should see that, oh, these objects start disappearing because they are no longer within the boundaries of this far plane. And so it's not getting rendered on the camera, and it seems like as if we're just like sort of pulling away from it. Once they come back in bounds of this far plane, then that material does get rendered and we can see it on the camera. So when we go back over here to video player, we can change to camera far plane, and what it's going to do is it's going to tell this video player to render this video that we have, this clip that we have here, at the far plane of this camera. And so right now it's a little bit past the wall, and what we expect once I change all these settings properly is that we'll first see this wall, but I'm going to draw this far plane closer to the camera, and so that the render point is actually away from the wall, and we should be able to see that video be displayed there. And so I want to make sure that this video player is using camera far plane, and then I need to tell it which camera I want to use. I can use this little bullseye button, or I can just drag it into this area. So now it's telling I want to have the video rendered on the far plane of my camera, and I'm going to hit play, and then I'm going to adjust it so that this far plane starts out past this wall, and we should see all this material get rendered. And then I'm going to drag my far plane value to be less than 5.24, and it's going to be in front of the wall, and you'll notice the video sort of creep in because the far plane is actually closer than the wall, and so we'll see that on top of the wall, even though we wouldn't see the wall anyways. Okay, we'll hit play. The video started playing, we can hear the audio, and what I'm going to do is turn on the audio and drag the far plane, rotate this a little bit, closer to us, and we want to look over here and see that when this far plane becomes closer to the camera beyond the wall, you'll notice that that material, that the video gets rendered at the far plane. So these are two quick and easy ways to get your video to be rendered somewhere, right? And the quad is probably the easiest way to sort of mimic a computer screen or some type of display in your real world. And if you want just a video to be playing that sort of exists in and around other objects, then maybe you want to use something like the far plane. If you want to control how this video gets played, because at the moment we have a quad, sorry, not the quad, we have play on awake checked here, we would have to write a script maybe to make this all happen. And so really quickly, let's just say that we want to make a new script and we want to call it something like video controls. I'm going to uncheck the play on awake, double click on this script. Hopefully it's going to load up the mono develop. You can do it mono develop. Okay, video controls, that's the script that we're using. And so in order to control a video player, it's not in the regular namespace, and so we're going to type in using Unity Engine dot video. That unlocks some of the methods and API that we want to use. And so let's say that I want to be able to control when this thing gets played, because play on wake is not checked right now. So I'm going to create an instance variable. I want a video player. I'm going to call it name of VP, and then on awake, I'm going to point this variable to the actual instance of it by using get component, and I want to give it a type, and the type is video player. I should find the local video player. I know that this exists, so I'm not really worried about the other stuff. And let's just say that maybe I'm going to set it so that if input dot get key down key code space, whenever we hit the space, then I want the video player to play. Save that, hit build, and then we're going to pop back over to the editor and just click on this guy. We know that play on awake is not checked. And how is it set up right now? We want to, let's just say that we want to render it back onto the material of this quad. Unity is going to think a little bit. It's going to render onto the quad, main text, and I'm going to hit play. After I know that this scene loads itself, I'm going to hit the space bar, and I'll let you know when I do it, and hopefully the video starts playing. I'm going to hit space bar now. And you can see that it starts to render because there's a few frames of black, and the video starts playing. Great. I hope this video helps you out, and you can import it into or implement it in your game. Catch you later. Bye.